everyone being here, and of course on behalf of FGCU Academy Online, we certainly appreciate you as well. So this morning, has anyone ever wondered why balance is so complicated? Like, what's the deal? I mean, what's the deal with this balance thing? Well, in your handout, okay, you're gonna find the breakdown in the anatomy of one of the most interesting topics in the world, balance. And so, this morning I'm gonna explain why balance is so complicated, right? I have you a bit of an outline. Also, I have another book coming out that's gonna be just strictly about balance. It's going to talk about all the different components that you'll see on your handout in a little more detail. I'm not going to flood you with a bunch of science talk. Balance, guys, it really starts with the brain. That's where it starts, right? You have a lot of things that go on with the brain, neurological diseases, disorders like Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, dementia, that affect the neurotransmitters, and neurotransmitters essentially are what carry signals from one synapse, through a synapse from one neuron to another. All right, and so really everything begins with the brain. Well, what helps the brain? Exercise, healthy eating, moving. There's a lot of things we can do that help our brains. Puzzles, mahjong, bridge, all these little things help the brain stay healthy. All right, so you want to make sure that most importantly, exercise, because it has so many benefits, not only for the brain, for the heart and the legs. All right, now from there, how do we know if our brain is working efficiently? Well, all you have to do is ask my wife. She knows. She tells me all the time. No, I'm just kidding. There's a simple test that you can do. This test is not necessarily foolproof, but it gives you a decent indication if everything is okay upstairs. This test is called the Romberg Test. And what the Romberg Test is you stand with both feet together, just like we do in class. You're going to close your eyes, just like we do in class in our assessments. The difference here is you put your arms across your chest. Now, you hold this position for 15 seconds. If you are unable to do so, that's probably a pretty good indication that you need to schedule an appointment with your physician, your primary, and let them know what's going on. Let them know about your positive Romberg test, and then you guys will go from there, okay? Now, secondly, we're talking about pillars, okay? We're talking about pillars. We're talking about strength, how strong are your legs. We're talking about posture, how good is your posture, right? Do you slouch and it changes your balance center of mass? We're talking about your flexibility. Can your legs move through the full range of motion, or are they so tight, whether due to a sedentary lifestyle or maybe it's due to an injury or a surgery? Your legs, you cannot reach out because it's so tight back here, you can't reach out through your full range of motion. Now, of course, balance. Balance becomes a little more complicated because now we're starting to get into mechanoreceptors and proprioceptors. Remember we talked a little bit about that last week. Mechanoreceptors detect pressure. Proprioceptors are those nerve endings that kind of help us orient where we are in time and space. So you can see how these things are stacking up. We hadn't even begun to talk about the vestibular system and how important the role is for our eyes and ears. All right, so when you start talking about balance, all these things are part of an integral part on how we stay upright. Simple thing to do to make sure you prevent unintended falls. Practice. So later this week, I'm going to release a video that are going to give you the top 4 exercises that you can get the most bang, the most value for your time, okay? So with that, guys, let's get ahead and let's move into it. All right, I know there's nothing more I like to do than to hear myself talk, but I'm told that gets boring and old and no one is interested sometimes. So let's go ahead and move into our assessments.